Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Andrea here Monday afternoon. Today I'm going to be talking about my CT dye scan at the Richmond General Hospital, anaphylactic shock. So this was a horrible experience. So what happened is, as you know, I've been having tons of issues with my stomach. I've been getting a really bad pain on my left side. Kind of the waist area, and then from the front to the back radiates into my shoulder, my armpit, and my arm and my back. So I've been going through that for about 6 months. I've been in and out of Richmond General Hospital several times, so you could see the videos prior. Severe fatigue and kind of headaches and really bad stomach ache and bathroom issues, blood. Like, it felt like I had food poisoning for 6 months. It's been going on for 6 months. So they decided to do a CT dye scan at the Richmond General Hospital on my abdomen, my full abdomen. And so I'll do a result video in another video, like what they found. But right now I'm just going to talk about my anaphylactic shock. So I went to the Richmond General Hospital with my daughter, and I went in there, and I was going in for my CT scan dye abdomen, which is just a generalized one. And I was like, you know, I have a lot of allergies, and, you know, she's like, oh, have you had a problem with this dye before? And I was like, no, never. Like, I had this dye a long time ago, though. Like, I had this dye a long time ago. I never had problems with it. In fact, I've had this dye many times, never had problems with it. And she's like, oh, well, this is a new one. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I didn't really have any worries about it. So I went into the machine. And the minute I came out, you know, you go in, you take some x-rays, and then they put the dye in. And then you take x-rays, you come out, or pictures, and you come out. And the minute that I came out, I started getting super itchy on my arm. Like, it was so bad. And I was like scratching my arm as the machine was pulling out. Like, a couple seconds later, we're talking. And she looked, she goes, oh God, that's a hive. And I was like, oh my God. And then I started getting more and more and more. So they put me in the hallway with my daughter on a stretcher bed. A stretcher bed. And they're like, you know, just lay here, we're going to watch you, whatever, for 30 minutes or something. Then I started getting nauseated, I started getting a headache, I started getting fatigue, I started feeling like sick, and I felt like I was kind of out of it. And then the hives were getting worse, the itchy was getting worse, and then my throat started to close. And when my throat started to close, I kind of panicked. I was like, oh, my throat's starting to close. And then the nurse and the doctor, they're like, okay. So they put me in a wheelchair. Yeah, they rushed me down to emergency. Like, they put me in a wheelchair, and they took me down to emergency, rushed me down there, and, like, I get in the bed, and, like, I was, like, sitting there feeling really sick, and, you know, when my throat was closing, so it was making me feel super, super sick, and I was feeling nauseated. I was like, oh, I'm going to throw up, oh, I feel sick, you know, and, like, every 2 seconds. So I was like, oh, I'm going to throw up. And then I was like, I feel sick. I just kept saying it. I feel sick. And then I was like, they gave me like gravel and for that, and they had me on a drip. And then they had the EpiPen on hand, but they gave me this like throat opening meds. And they're like, if this, you know, hopefully works, but if this doesn't work, then we're going to give you the EpiPen. And I was like, okay. But it did work, and I was in there 5 hours. We were in there 5 hours, and I felt so deathly sick. It was the grossest feeling ever. It was so nasty, and I was like, I never want to go through that again. So that was my experience for my CT dye abdomen scan at the Richmond General Hospital. That was my reaction, severe allergic reaction, anaphylactic shock. So that's the first time this ever happened to me in my life. It was a horrible experience, and I never wanted to go through that again. So I'm just going to share that with you. Just my story about my CT dye scan at the Richmond General Hospital and my anaphylactic shock. So we will talk to you soon with another video. I'll tell you about the results, what they found. Okay, take care. Have a good day. Bye.